here's the thing, right?
Yes.
I hate being mid lane versus Nunu.
Yes.
Because he's constantly ganking, and he always just goes through mid on the way. You might as well.
It's a very unorthodox ganking that comes out from a Nunu, and therefore you need to change up your vision control as well, because having vision just around where they're standing right now is not good enough. You need to have topside vision, or river vision rather. As they're looking for some intel here in the early game, I assume they're going to be dropping a ward. Nope, they're actually not.
Interesting.
Very interesting indeed. Yes. And on the other side of the map, Bifrost not looking to get some early vision themselves. We could have seen C-Boy walk up, find some deeper vision. That wasn't the case. We've seen Shikari go for it instead, and now they have vision around where the Nunu is going to be starting. So that is key, knowing where the enemy jungler is so you can track him in the early game, so there's no... Oh, he doesn't actually spot the ward either.
Yeah. So here's the next question, because we talked a bit about the Nunu. Zeri mid.
We've seen it before. We've seen in the NLC as well. We've seen Nuke Dog play it. Not to the greatest extent, but it is something that messes up, I guess, the other side of the lane, keeping that flex. I'm actually surprised they didn't hold on to the flex longer. I think if you wanted to go for a jog... I mean, I was surprised until I saw the Nunu, because what I think quite often when you have a flex is that you want to save it for the second ban phase to make matters even worse in terms of what champions you're banning out. What I was also very surprised to see was Caitlyn paired up with Nautilus, because now you just lose priority in lane because you're against Doppel, ranged, with Nautilus who essentially can't lane until he gets level 3 and try to find some pick. And by the time he's quite often pushed back by an enemy enchanter like the Karma.
And like the thing as well is Caitlyn wants to win lane. That's kind of what she does. She's a lane bully. She becomes great later, but like really wants to win that lane as a Cryz and Shikari going for a toe-to-toe fight here. Cryz is going to hit that level 2, and now Shikari going to get bopped a little bit.
Still, lane control fairly even between the two of them, but Shikari should be in control. He is the one playing with range. He is the one who's going to be getting some HP as well from going Mecha. And both junglers right now are pathing down towards the bottom side of the map. So I'm not suspecting we're going to be getting any early shenanigans up towards the top side of the map. No, rather, it's probably going to be about this bot side. And I wonder what they're going to be looking for, because Dan, he can with the snowball try and look for a gank, whereas C-Boy can do the same, but I think he's going to be more of a shadowing role, trying to stabilize his Caitlyn down here.
Just looking at the lane states though, it's going to be pretty hard for Dan to find a gank, because you can see Bifrost pushed in the bot lane, mid lane's getting pushed in. Top lane is genuinely the best place for him to gank at this point in the game, just because Shikari able to push, and Cryz will be playing weak side. And Nunu's good with weak side laners, because they're always pushed under the tower. Nunu wants you overextended because it's very easy for him to hit you.
Okay, now C-Boy taking care of this Rift Scuttler is actually very important, just because, again, I want to reiterate, if you start your W as Nunu on the Rift Scuttler with the movement speed, your W is just going to be even faster when you zoom into a lane. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Odie as well, because we were talking about him at the start of this week. He actually has the best laning stats of our AD carries. He has the best CS difference at 14 minutes into the game. So shutting him down in the laning phase, specifically on a pick like Caitlyn, like you just mentioned yourself, where you want to take control, you want to get plating, you want to rotate it around the map with a priority, is essential. Fury, though, kill pressure.
Almost landed that overload. That would have potentially been enough, or at least enough to force the flash out. And they're able to get out, though, from any real threat. As look who's standing on
he's standing on it right now.
Shrine. Fury's low. If he wants to start the snowball, he can do so, but they spotted out by the Gnar, making his way over. Fury now having to play with a little bit of respect, but he's coming in. It's the biggest snowball ever, and the flash comes out from Fury.
You said it yourself, you spot it, but if you're not used to playing against a Nunu, you're not used to how fast he's actually going to be coming into your lane, just like that. Forces the flash off the Royce, and Hitbrain, you were talking about how annoying it is as a mid laner. Let's talk about this bot lane instead.
That's a nice hook. Already Zamulex ignited. He's going so low. He's not going to burn to death. 19 HP. Woo! That was close.
But they finally take control of the lane, and that was that level 3 we talked about with the Nautilus. You get poked down, Once you hit that level 3, that's where you can strike. Paired up with a Caitlyn, with the trap, with the auto attacks that root you as well. Brilliant chain of events there. They push in the wave and deny Zamulex some good amount of gold and experience at the same time.
Yeah, it's really big for them. Lovely pick from Joel. And this is kind of what you're hitting on. When you do hit that level 3 mark, there is a lot of damage, a lot of kill pressure that can come out from this lane. It's just getting up to that 3.
Exactly.
It's always going to be the hard bit. And, you know, Zamulex was able to pick up an advantage in lane, but now he's down in farm because of this. So, make his life a little bit harder as Dan's just going to be picking up the chickens. Nunu, still a very fast clear of the jungle.
Of course he is. And remember, once again, as I wanted to talk about, you mentioned it, as a mid laner, no flash right now. he can never be overstepped. He can never be hitting the enemy tower, because if Dan's come around with a snowball, he can just realistically speaking come from the tower range. Like, he can come from the mid lane itself. He doesn't have to come from a bush. He just need to be able to land that snowball.
One thing I'm really loving is actually the warding from Bifrost. If you look down towards the bottom side, they're placing these wards along the river. Because Nunu's not a traditional ganker. He just bolts in from the river. So you place some vision down, and you deny him so hard. Kick is probably not under any real kill threat here, although Seaboy is coming over. Dan's in the area, and Seaboy now actually might find himself in a bit of trouble.
No
he
flash
didn't
from
spot the
Zamulek.
Nunu. Zamulek, like you said, no flash available. Lands the zap onto Seaboy, but they're able to get out as Mnes actually also making their way over, eats the hook, and Odie can now place the trap down. Mnes going to pop the ultimate to try and stay alive as Zap goes a little bit wide. Bifrost not going to be able to find their pick.
But Bifrost in control for sure here. It seems like it's always JDXL on the back foot here, just struggling to pick up these waves. And just because Zamulek missed out on the summoner spells in the skirmish beforehand in the bottom lane, they need to forfeit the fight, and because of this, with the priority, Seaboy, he's able to nail up the Drake. They're able to push in the mid lane with Fury, and they should be able to put Odie back in bot lane as well to keep the pressure going for this Bifrost.
All right, well. What?
Nothing.
Yeah. Nothing. Exactly. I'm learning, Gulborg.
Okay, so I was just having a look. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
For context, because people are going to be wondering what I was doing. I was looking up Zeri's ability names because I've forgotten them. / never learnt them.
I was like, is he texting someone right now? What's going on?
I've had to whip Google out
I was holding the point for quite a bit. I was building up. I was like, are you done now?
Nope.
Okay, I'll pick it up once again. Let's have a look at the map state once again, shall we? While my partner in crime is having a look at Zeri ability. So, blue buff has been donated over. Fury, still no flash, but have not been punished yet either. And it's surely something you would love to see. The Nunu with the snowball, he's actually, look at the build. Look at the build of the Dan right now. Look at that. That is sock pen boots. That is an amplifying tone being built. That is an AP Nunu, ladies and gentlemen. It is not just your standard state-of-the-art with Kim Tank.
I think this is the Night Harvester build. I've played into this, and it's awful. You get hit by that snowball, and you're like, oh, cool, I just lose my health bar. Fine, that's whatever. I assume we'll see a Hextech
so finicky at JDXL. First, we saw the Vi come out from Dan. Then the Volibear, which is a bit more meta, granted, but they were one of the first who pulled it out. And now, the Nunu instead, Empire.
Seaboy gonna get himself caught out by the paper trail as they're chasing in, gonna lock him in place, and Mnes pops the ultimate. The slow, it's absolute zero. Seaboy gets the shield off, but Mnes can just get a little bit closer now, slowed down by Kickers, and it's first blood to XL.
Mnes gets a kill for himself to his collection there. It's not a solo kill to his archive of kills, but it's definitely a double buff he'll be happy about. Down towards the bottom side of the map, Zamulek was forfeited this minion wave, and Odie and Joel once again has taken complete control over that. But let's have a look at it once again, shall we? Seaboy just not holding onto that flash a little too long, so the tether from Kickis does land with the root, and Kickis once again finding a nice Q here to just land the slow for MNS to pick up the kill for himself.
Yeah, lovely little inner flame there.
Was that like a little subtle, this is what we call, don't call it a karma Q thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So
yeah, well, I've forgotten Zeri's ability, so I needed to kind of sound like I knew what I was doing somewhat. Ooh! Nice little hook, just forces the flash out from Kickis. Is going to land the snare.
No, not snare yet. Zamulek ignited.
Yeah, Zamulek now getting turned onto. Odie has got that ace in the hole. They're realm warping in. Kickis won't eat anything, and they're just going to look for the kill. The rocket not going to do enough for Seaboy, taking tower shot. Just about able to survive. A double kill for Odie.
Another favorable skirmish from Bifrost, and it's once again coming for that bot lane. 2-0 on the Caitlyn. We were talking about this lane. We needed to see the priority come through, and 10 minutes into the game, 9:40, it has. Eminence in the mid lane.
Oh, look at Rift.
Open it up, and as you said yourself, they have the Rift Herald. They should be open. Able rather to open the first one here, and yes, they should just be dead.
If this plate goes down, this tower's absolutely dead.
Yes, it's dead. Jake, it's dead. It's dead.
I can see that.
Well, it's dead.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm now aware. Cheers.
Good.
God, I can't wait to switch out on the mirror.
Yeah, man, I can't wait to get back on the analyst desk.
Let's have a look at this fight.
Oh yeah, shall we? Because it's Zamulek getting a bit too aggressive here. I don't understand why they're moving up in the minion wave. They didn't have the mid lane priority either, but you can see as soon as the bot lane skirmish happened, MNS is actually just spamming assistant pings. Dan is making his way towards bot lane, but MNS just like, nope, you're coming mid, we're opening up this turret, and we're getting some gold for me.
And I mean,
That's
like,
what they did.
Look at the build. We're getting pretty close towards that Trinity Force as well on M&S. So, attack speed boots, half burn axe, Sheen, and that Cole crashing in. Next wave, going to be able to cash in on that as well. That might just be enough to get that Triforce.
Do you know what M&S favorite shop is?
If you're going to say M&S, that's how I remember how to pronounce the name.
Oh, is it now?
Genuinely, the first time I casted them, I wrote down an M&S.
Okay, great,
shop.
brilliant. Okay, well, my joke won't land then. But
No.
yeah, thank you.
Hey man, I've got a history of mispronouncing names. I need to find ways to write
Oh
it
yeah,
down
I mean,
phonetically.
you should look back at Monday games.
And my Tuesday, and my Wednesday, yeah.
It's unfair, man. We should just have their names on Leaguepedia for them for you to just kind of reminisce on them instead.
Maybe people should write their names properly.
Oh, don't make this a that thing. Like, no, you're not that ignorant. We're not. Now, anyways, back to the game as well. You can see they're actually moving out their troops from the side of JDXL. They pushed in a long lane in mid lane. And now, M&S, Dan, they're moving down to the bottom lane as a unit, trying to see if they can catch someone who's just a little overextended. Does not seem to be the case. And I wonder, are they just going to be giving this one over to M&S? Yes, they exactly are.
Looks like they're not willing to completely give up on this dragon. Actually, it might be Odie. A great hook flash from Joel. They can use the absolute zero to get everybody slowed down. That's a lot of damage. The Rockets comes in, and M&S able to cash out on the kill. They find the slow. Maybe time for a bit of parkour from M&S. Not going to be able to get over the wall in time. And Joel looks for the hook. Gonna miss it. And JDXL trade out jungler for jungler. Nobody gets the dragon.
Yeah, not only that, up towards the top side as well, there was a little skirmish. Shikari, he was forced to flash away. So now, with no TP advantage from the side of JDXL, they still have to be a little bit wary, but M&S, he secured the bot side perimeter. Samalek pushing in the mid lane, and with Dan respawning, it looks like they're just going to be continuing. It is only 12 minutes into the game, and they're going to be trying to get more plates onto M&S. I wonder, can we toggle the gold right now just to see how far ahead he actually is?
Oh,
6k gold lead. The closest one is Odie at 5.1 himself. So clearly a catalyst once again in the mid lane from JDXL.
That's not any mid laner. That's Eminem. I've messed the joke up, don't worry. All right, back to the action. Joel hooks away to safety and limps away with a low health bar.
Yeah, they can still look for this one though, but M&S, he's just gonna procure away on the roller skates, securing against the priority. Seaboy is around the area, but it's difficult for them to walk in here though. I say that. Seaboy drops the pink ward. They can look to contest this. Fury does have that teleport, but 14 minutes into the game, it's still not unleashed. And it looks like Dan, he's just going to be able to pick up this Cloud Soul, or Cloud Drake, rather. Not Soul yet.
A little ahead of yourself, homie.
Oh, yes. 10
the
minutes.
Infernal Soul, actually. It is hard, though, to try and contest any objective when you've got a Nunu. It's the old classic, a bit like a Cho'Gath. You got the Feast, you got the Smite. Makes it very hard to actually deal with Nunu when he gets onto these objectives. I don't see how you outburst it if you are Bifrost. And we've had a bit of a lane swap. M&S now in the bot lane. Odie trying to kind of hold on, but they've already swapped Zamulek into the mid lane. It was having a pretty rough go of it. And this should just buy a bit of space and a bit of time for Zamulek to finish up his items. Because, I mean, taking a look at the items, Gale forced to Noon Quiver.
Yeah, and I wonder how they're going to be moving around the map now, once again, because M&S, he's kind of just like bouncing back from these lanes, moving around to the different sides of the map with the movement speed. Beforehand, he picked up the red buff from Dan. This time around, he's going to be picking up the blue buff. Literally any resource on the map has M&S' name written on it at the moment. And with this rotation, with Shikari backing, who's going to respond right now to M&S? Because no one's actually making their way up towards the top side. So if they use this advantage right now to get some deep vision, they could just be looking for that top side turret.
Well, they're going to bring up the snowball, but no one is about. M&S now with the Triforce will actually shred through towers given the opportunity. So it's something you got to be really careful of. Triforce, still an amazing item for taking towers thanks to that Sheen or the attack speed. Also, M&S almost got the Hurricane finished up, and this is what I'm talking about. Give him one wave of some time on the tower, he's going to be able to half health it just like that. Yeah, Dan is waiting though. Shikari needs to be careful.
Shikari's not getting any help up here. He doesn't have the flash from the earlier skirmish, and they're just going to go for this one.
Yeah, M&S did take 3 tower shots to start it out, and Shikari's about to gnaw out. Another tower shot onto M&S as a bad tower juggle is going to cost XL everything here. Dan just about gets out, and now M&S is going to look for Shikari. Just shoots him down underneath the tower, just like that.
JDXL, as clean as you like it with that topside dive.
I ain't
They
sure
get
about
the
that one,
turret,
Chief.
they get the kill, they get out with both members alive. I think so.
Yeah, I mean, like, it went better than it should have.
Oh yeah, I completely agree, and it's only because they failed the tower juggle. Let's have a no. We're
it's
having
bot
a
lane.
bot side instead.
Oh, Christ.
Oh Christ! On the weak side duty, the map is being. Oh, they are committing their resources up towards the top side of the map. So Christ kind of just has to forfeit this turret. It's a thing we see a lot of top laners not being willing to do, and it's a realm where we have to respect. Even if you don't see Rise on Vision, expect he's coming down towards you in that situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Tier 2 did full draw in the middle of that replay. M&S able to take top lane tier 2. So really nice pick up there for them on that. It's going to inject a lot more gold to the Zeri. Now got the Hydra and the Hurricane off the back of that base and that kill. So, you know, we might have taken a little bit of a dump on that tower dive, but it gave a lot of gold to their mid laner, and he's exceptionally fed. They still got time to take his Rift Herald as well. A lot of towers have already gone down in favor of XL. The gold lead not entirely reflecting of that.
It is really not, but once again, I think a lot of the gold is sitting in M&S right now. So
Yes.
whenever he's moving around,
Oh my word.
that is the side you're playing for. Yeah, you can just see it right now. Because your solo laners or your other solo laners sitting at 5k, your AD carry sitting at 5k, you're realistically speaking behind on the other front of the map, except if we don't count the jungle. So you're really just moving around with M&S the whole time. And now that you picked up a Herald for yourself, he's sitting at 2 items as well. And he's once again just getting fed these resources. He is level 12, the same as Fury. And honestly, Fury is holding up well on this Rise. We keep talking a lot about M&S, but every time there's a movement on the map from M&S, Fury is making a response with the Realm Mob on the other side of the map. So both teams are actually staying quite even against each other in this, despite the gold lead for JDXL.
It's also a crown build on the
Yeah, just
Nunu.
drive in there, not be afraid to take damage for the first few seconds. Seems like the Fury.
Really like that, yeah. I think it's a really nice build. I've seen the Night Harvester and it hurts, but this one's probably actually a smarter one now. I see this one.
Are you bringing out the Vin Diesel jokes for the family when he's drifting in there as well?
No.
Oh, it's a different meme period.
I've taken...
The economy has changed.
I've made some low jokes. I'm not going that low.
Okay, well, speaking of low, down towards the bot side of the map. Bifrost, Fury.
I don't know why that got me. Oh, what a pickup.
It's true.
I mean, yes, I know. That's why it worked. God damn it. Well, actually, let's take a stock of kind of the map right now, because Bifrost have really good control of the river.
Oh, yeah.
Kikis is trying to contest that vision, but oh my word, that was close. Meanwhile, Fury getting chunked out a little by M&S. He goes for a bit of parkour. Joel gonna plot the ultimate as the lightning crash is used by M&S. Now getting jumped onto by C-Boy. He's gonna ult. More parkour means M&S is out of there. Ace in the hole will almost do enough damage, but C-Boy is perma-slowed, and down goes pop goes the bear.
M&S with the skating, happy feet, ready for that one. What's that volley bear ultimate? They're still looking for Fury though. No flash to his name.
Word.
Dan lands it.
That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. Shut down for Kikis. And Dan able to jump out with the crabs.
Dan not even the one with the Trinity Force. He's still doing tons of damage. M&S though does have it. Shredding down that turret. Rift Herald still deployed. And they can look for a second tier turret here if they'd like to.
Yeah, they should be able to get this. M&S has got so much damage at this point. He's so fed on this Zeri. This tower will go down in a matter of seconds, followed up by that second dragon for JDXL. And Bifrost, it feels like, you know, we were saying the gold's close. It's now starting to crumble away from them. We're in, you know, that 20-minute mark
we're
almost.
just a 1k deficit for Bifrost. We're sitting at 4k out of nowhere. Just one clean team fighter. Man, M&S styling on them quite like he's making a fool out of them. He's running around circles with them. That movement speed, diving over walls. This champion, it's perfect for his playstyle.
Yeah, it's really seating him. It's also making up for the deficit that Zamelek is in at the moment, because Zamelek kind of needs a couple more items before they come online on the Jinx. And because they had a pretty rough laning phase, they're a little bit behind the curve compared to Odie.
Oh, look at that movement speed. He's so fast,
oh
Odie.
My word! That's a speedy Nunu. Joel's going to get locked in place, tries to hook away to safety. The Realm Warp to bring in backup is going to arrive, and it's actually got nobody on that train, but the hook lands onto M&S. It almost gets the damage onto Joel. Not enough, trapped under the tower. C-Boy's coming in. Shut down for the volley bear. Now it's all on Zamelek to try and turn it around. A rocket could be big here. As Shikari's onto the Frank. Going to force Zamelek to jump away. Ace in the hole, eaten by Kikis, and Krives has teleported in to save the day.
But once again, Fury as well steps up for Bifrost, find the pick on the right side near the Wolves. C-Boy as well, finally finding M&S, who stepped too far forward. And just like that, you give them an inch in this game. They're going to be trying to make the full of it. Starting off the Baron, no jungler alive, no low HP bars, and Mechanol for Shikari in just a moment. This is looking dire for JDXL. How do they manage this situation?
It's going to have to be done so well. There's the flash, there's the Gnar, and there is the kill. Joel, we won't talk about that hook, but meanwhile, Cries is trying to be a nuisance. The rocket almost does it. It almost finds the kill onto C-Boy, but Baron Nashor over to Bifrost.
And just like that, Bifrost back in the game. Still 1k deficit, but they will get priority back on towards this map with the Baron up minions. And let's have a look at that once again, because that is once Speedy Nunu. He's so fast. Odie manages with the Gale Force, sidesteps it, and then M&S dodged so much damage. You can see it. He's seeing blood. He's seeing red. But in a moment, all he's going to be seeing is a hook from the Nautilus. And just like that, he gets rooted up. He gets chained on the trap. He gets slowed by the net. And C-Boy's ready to pick up and collect.
And Zamulek just doesn't have the damage to deal, just to cut through the remaining lower health bars. And this rocket was almost massive. I don't think it would have stopped the Baron, but it would have been a nice injection of gold onto Zamulek, who is behind.
It definitely is, but they also know they just have every tool in their kit to turn. The Fat Kickers gets away with that one. Is almost getting away with murder, except it's getting away with your life. And the rocket, it comes close.
That could have been Odie
not close enough. That could have been Odie's. That could have been 2 kills. We're not back into the action, Hipbrain.
Yes, we are. Stormbringer going to get used. MNES not going to overextend this time. Shikari miles away, gnawing out, so it's probably not going to be happening now. MNES just going to get the mid lane priority. No dragon spawning up yet. Joel.
X-Flash from
There's
Jewel.
the X-Flash. MNES.
Ooh, it's so close. Just catches that one. He skates away.
That was
the devil
so
on
close.
rollerblades.
Devil on rollerblades. Love it. Shikari should be able to take this tower. Cry's not going to be able to do too much about that one, unfortunately. So Bifrost will get their second tower of the game. Both of those are in the top side.
And it's 40 to 40k gold right now. Just a little bit still in favor. They're just going to be realm warping the minion waves forward here. They're going to be cheating the tempo a little bit, syncing up the waves while Shikari is attacking that bot side. Cries just forced to disengage it, engage it rather.
Shikari about to gnar out. Can he get it in time? He's going to be able to jump away with the hop, skip, and a jump out to safety. And XL, they used a fair amount there, but not too much. Dan, can he find the snowball? That's the big one. Those traps are going to be really strong for denying, though.
They are definitely, but it seems like they're getting back with this priority. Shikari no longer in a side lane, demanding attention from JDXL. So Bifrost forced to back off just a little bit, but Dan, he's keeping the speeder down.
Yeah, he's trying to get onto Joel for the moment. MNES has popped the ultimate. They're going to find this kill. Joel able to jump out. The rocket is going to dunk it for Zamulek. And MNES tries to jump forward one more time. Zap's going to land, do a little bit of damage. But MNES still trying to pump it out here. Locked in place. Shikari joins up with the team. And XL find their one pick. They stop the Baron push for now. And they got a little bit of time before this dragon spawns.
That's the thing, right? Less than a minute before this next Drake spawns. That would be putting JDXL on Soul Poly as well. If they can get this, they're taking control of the mid lane, which essentially means they're taking control of the enemy jungle, which makes setting up for this next Drake easier. And despite Bifrost still, well, they actually just lost that Baron buff on that name. Means they're now forced to be put back in an even position in terms of getting control of this river. Drake is spawning in less than 10 seconds. The entirety of the river is in control of JDXL. 2 pink walls. They're going to be face checking now.
Yeah, they're going to be walking in with both those walls placed down. A little bit of a miscommunication on that one. The dragon should be secured as Joel's making his way in. Volibear's not going to get there in time. That's the dragon secured. And XL, they just need to get a clean escape. MNES going to force over the wall. And Dan did have to pop the flash to get away from the Volibear, but now Bifrost have the inside track on this mid lane tower, and they should be able to get the tier 2 for this.
Yeah, they traded for that one. Infernal Soul Point is still in favor of JDXL, and they've picked up 2 for themselves, which means 8% extra in the adaptive damage department for your side, which is brilliant when you already have a really fat mid laner on M&S on this area in the mid lane. So if you get caught off guard by anyone, he can speed over the wall and join the fight in an instant. That's not what you're looking for. So once again, slowing down the game a little bit from the side of Bifrost is pivotal to make sure that you're not overstepping your own boundaries to get caught off guard by your enemy.
And we are seeing Zamulek now 2 items in on the Jinx, just built that last Whisper, so building towards the LDR as well. 3 item Jinx, that's the key bit. That's when they start to come online, and Zamulek will be able to back up what M&S is doing, but the big difference is the extra range you'll get from the Jinx over M&S. He's very short range on that Zeri. 3,000 gold between the mid laners. 2,000 between the AD carries.
So playing just 1,000, junglers pretty much even, and the same goes for support, but it's the less relevant roles right now in this game, at least it feels like it. But once again, the names, JDXL versus Bifrost. The expectations you have to a game when you hear these two names, I think it's delivering this match.
I mean, it's been a hard week for XL. They obviously had to play X7, who are another top team. They lost to them for the second time. And then now they're playing versus Bifrost, the next team up in the lineup. Third place. They've had a pretty tough week as MNES going to try and get as much damage off on to Shikari, but not going to be able to find the kill. Shikari just teleports up to the top side of the map.
That's a teleport force before Baron spawns in 1 minute, so that is still something gained. M&S, he's going to be able to push out the bot side, create more pressure for his team. Someone has to respond to this, but that's someone on Bifrost. There's no one with teleport, so they can keep the pressure up. M&S, he's just going to be going for it. You're completely right, Jake.
I talked about the Triforce on the tower. He can absolutely shred through this. Isn't going to be able to do it as Fury makes his way over. And Odie's also in the area, but that was a lot of pressure, pulling Fury down, who doesn't have teleport as well. Like you're saying, Baron very, very soon. Let's
talk about Fury's build as well, because he does have that Frozen Heart, he does have that Thimble Winter. It's a classic Rise build we see where you don't get too much damage, but when you're playing against 2 AD carries, you get a lot of value for this build, being up in their face, up close and personal. Getting that Frozen Heart passive down is essential. Actually, they have 2 Frozen Hearts on their team. I'm not too sure that passive actually stacks. One of them probably should have been a Randium's Omen.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, they're just going to start up the Baron. Look at that. It's actually some decent amount of damage from Dan here as well. And there's no vision on it.
Once the Jinx gets here, this Baron is just going to get melted. Kikis is just on zone injury. Big thing is, Shikari's about to Gnar out. If he can get inside this pit, he can be a real nuisance. He can do so much work for the side of Bifrost. The post coming in, the Realm Warp's going to bring a couple of members forward. Shikari's trying to jump in forwards. Shikari about to lose that Gnar. They find the knockout, they find the hook. A great stopwatch comes in.
Oh, look at Kreis!
There's the barrel. There's Shikari with a massive Gnar. Kreis now trying to buy a bit of space.
Rocket
is going to land. The belly bop to follow. Odie is chunked out oh so hard, but Fury is bouncing the damage forwards. But JDXL, they have come alive, and Bifrost are just wiped from the rift.
The thing is, they did see Kreis initially before that play came in, but they completely forgot about him as soon as they realm warped in. M&S still not done looking for Fury. Don't think he'll be picking it up, but completely insane and beautiful flank coming out from the JDXL top laner, completely scattering Bifrost, knocking the carries into their face. Easy cleanup for JDXL. They pick up the mid lane turret, they pick up the fight, and they will pick up the Baron.
Absolutely flawless fight from JDXL. Kreis may have died, but he did so much work for the team.
You know what make matters was there's 50 seconds rather, for the Infernal Soul. So this game just becomes even more difficult, and they just forget about him completely. Odie's in prime position for it, and look at that cast. He's forced to flash in immediately. Shikari is forced to flash forward to disengage. Rocket comes through, completely forgets about it, and then once again Kreis finds Odie. He sacrifices his life for it, but it's for the greater good, where they are able to clean up the fight.
Absolutely beautiful fight there from JDXL. And like you said, the Dragon spawning up fairly soon, but we ain't done. The snowball's not going to land, but they do get slowed down over the wall by M&S. Big thing, 10 seconds until this Infernal comes up. Neither team has a full domination on the area. It's JDXL just trying to clear out some of this vision, clear out some of these wards. The Crab is actually going to get pushed slowly towards Bifrost, which means it should be theirs to take.
But there's no flashes right now, any of the carries, so if you Odie oversteps, if Fury oversteps, you're just going to be done for. So there comes Dan, disengages, engages.
Kreis spotted out on the pink ward. Isn't going to try and contest it. In they go. The Dragon's going to get stolen away. C-Boy makes the hero play.
And they go
out to get the team out. It's not going to be enough. Bifrost, they're in the slaughterhouse. A double kill for the Zeri, making a triple kill. Fury will fall, and M&S comes up with a quadra kill.
Beautiful stuff once again from JDXL, and Kreis, that cast completely scattered Bifrost. They thought they could get away with the Realm Warp, but Fury, he just gets hit by the edge of it. No one's able to teleport out of there. They all get demolished, and it should just be JDXL looking forward to push the base of Bifrost.
30 minutes on the clock, and XL, they just snapped their fingers in the last 5 minutes, came alive as they will take down Bifrost in style.
These games, they've just delivered today, and JDXL, it's